Today on Brilliance Business TV, we have Gwen Lepard. As a luminary, Gwen Lepard shines the way to empower empaths to evolve beyond limitations. Having triumphed over narcissistic abuse, she become a guide by the side, showing them how to get paid to do what they do naturally as they overcome their relationship baggage, optimize their self-love and own their personal power. Stay tuned. Welcome to Brilliance Business TV, conversations with leading experts in business. I am your host, Mark Stephen Pooler. Today, I have a wonderful guest, a great friend, a client, Gwen Lepard. Now, Gwen supports her clients to evolve beyond narcissistic abuse. So a really, really important topic that we're covering today. Before I get started, I just want to make an official shout out to our show sponsors, Craig Shelley Luxury Watches and Fine Jewellery at craigshelley.com. We are streaming live on MSP News Global.com. We're also streaming to Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn and YouTube, and we're also on the E360 TV network under Fresh Takes, going out to Apple TV, Fire TV, Android TV, Roku, and many, many more. Let's bring in our incredible guest, Gwen Lepard. Gwen, welcome to Brilliance Business TV.
Thank you so much, Mark. I'm just thrilled to be here. I love how much reach you have.
Thank you. I'm really looking forward to a conversation with you today, Gwen. We have been through a global pandemic, and that has caused abuse to go up because many people have been stuck in households with their abusive partners, etc., etc. And I know how passionate you are about supporting empaths to really evolve beyond narcissistic abuse. Can we just go back a little bit about your background, your past, what has led you to do what you do today?
Yeah, thank you so much, Mark. It was July 31st, 2009. And after years of verbally whipping me, my former husband did it for real. And he had thrown coffee on me, and then he screamed at me that he was going to continue to come down on me harder and harder until I stopped doing stupid stuff. And the stupid stuff that I did was put laundry in the wash. And so I feared for my life, because if that was, going to have him being physically violent with me, what next? I fled to the gully, and I was crouched down, and I had my phone. My clothes are reeking of this stale coffee, and I had no one to call. I looked at my phone and there was no one, because one of the things that narcissists do is and I allowed it, they alienate everyone in your life. They want you to themselves. And so all of a sudden, over time, there was no one that I could call. I did find one number. It's like, she's going through a horrible divorce. Maybe she'll answer. She's an attorney. She never answers her phone. She answered. She said, I'm worried about you. You need to make a plan. I'm like, I don't make a plan. I'm out of here. And I left that day. And that was the day that I began my journey back to my own life, because I had completely lost it.
Gwen, thank you for sharing your vulnerability. I can hear the emotion, and I understand narcissistic abuse from a couple of narcissistic relationships. A little bit off script. I know you've got an idea of questions today, but they do use quite a few techniques, and that really stands out to me, which we can talk about that a little bit. I know a really popular one that they use is gaslighting. They also use triangulation. They also use mirroring, where they mirror everything that you do so that you really feel connected to them and that you're so like them, when in fact they're imitating what you do. So let's just talk about some of the techniques what manipulators use, that narcissists use, because I know when I suffered from narcissistic abuse, I really had to study some of these techniques that they use. So when you don't know about narcissism, you don't know about the techniques, and you would see red flags a lot quicker. So let's just talk a little bit about some of the red flags that they use.
Yeah, the biggest one for me in the relationship I was in was the gaslighting. And I didn't even realize that that was happening, because I didn't know what it was. I just knew that nothing I did was right. That no matter how hard I tried, he expected the worst out of me. And so, becoming a people pleaser, I gave him the worst. So if you find yourself doing a lot of people pleasing, that's an indication that you're not in a healthy relationship. If someone is constantly telling you that your truth and what you feel is your truth is not valid, that is a form of gaslighting. I love that you talked about triangulation. I'd like you to speak a little bit more about that, actually. And the mirroring. You feel so connected in the beginning. It's like, here's this person and they need you, because empaths need to be needed, because we feel people's pain. And narcissists, underneath all of that charming veneer, are in a lot of pain, because there is a self-loathing that a feeling of not being right and not being okay that they're not even aware of. And so they're constantly filling it by bringing other people down. So if you're with someone that uplifts you and mirrors you, that's a good sign. But if they're pulling you down as they mirror you, then you definitely need to be looking out, and start asking questions. Is this person doing this for me, for us, for the relationship, or are they doing it for themselves? And in the beginning, it's all charming and everyone's like, oh, you're so lucky. Yeah. And then when you're alone, they're a totally different person.
And in the beginning as well, they seem to move really, really quickly. So they flatter you. So a big warning sign is if you think someone is coming on really strong and flattering you really, really quickly and taking things a little bit too fast, that can be a warning sign. As for triangulation, Gwen, they will use other people to make you jealous. So they may put photos with other people on social media to make you triggered, thinking there may be something going on with someone else. Or maybe in social circles, they will use other people to triangulate you, even if they don't know the people very well. That is a form of manipulation and triangulation, and I'm sure you're aware of that. Tell us a little bit about you go ahead, Gwen.
Well, I was just going to say that I saw that. I hadn't heard that term. So the terms that I guess what I looked at was what was happening to me. But yes, there was definitely that going on. But there was more of the isolation. So that's one of the huge keys that I saw was isolation and basically removing the people in your life. Not so much But yes,
It's a
you're
good
absolutely right.
point, actually. Isolation, what they do, they make you really dependent on them.
Yeah.
So they will turn you against your friends. They will isolate you from your friends. They will
And family.
isolate you from your family because they want you to be totally dependent on them. And then as it turns more toxic, it's harder to get out because you're isolated and you have lost your social connections, your friends and family. And that is very, very well known with narcissism as well. So,
And we're talking about relationships that are like a romantic relationship, because there are a lot of people that are suffering because they have a parent that's a narcissist. And then, and if there's more than one child, there's a golden child, and then there's the scapegoat. And so if you might have a sibling that is like, can't do anything right or anything wrong. They're golden child. And then, but everything that you do is wrong. And typically that is one of the tools, the triangulation you're talking about, with a parent that is a narcissist.
It's not just relationships as well. People could be in a workplace and they may have a narcissistic boss, and that can be really, really difficult. Family members, even friendships, you could still be being manipulated and still have a narcissist in your life. So that's a really, really important point. So tell us a little bit about your business, Gwen, and how you support your clients.
Absolutely. So the thing that I love about what I do is that we don't have to get into story. So people, I see that a lot of people are really, really angry when they discover that they've been under the sway of a narcissist and they've been abused. And anger is an absolutely important and valid response to discovering that you've allowed yourself, or unknowingly were under the sway of a narcissist, because they can be very charming. And as you say, they come on fast and hard, and they sweep you off your feet, and underneath it, they're looking for, they want to suck your life force. They want to be fed, especially if you're an empath. They want to be fed by all of that love that you have to give. So I help my clients disconnect from the anger. And if somebody's not ready to let go of the anger, they're not a good client for me. So we don't need to know why. And I use a number of tools. Relationship clearings. I work with the energetics even more than anything else, because you can go and do lots of talk therapy. And if the energy attachments that I see as shackles are still in your energy field, you'll attract the same thing. You talked about, in business, I attracted a business partner after I left my former husband. And then I attracted another one. And that's one of the things that led me to the work that I do, is because I saw this pattern. It's like I keep attracting the same type of person. And why is that? And it was because I hadn't cleared the attachments in the energy field. And also work with limiting beliefs and changing the belief that that's all you deserve. So I work with people one-on-one, as well as in groups. I have group classes that I teach. I have programs online that people can have access to and do it, at their own pace. I have a lot of different ways that I support people. I have free stuff, and I love being able to see someone that's been in a narcissistic relationship, in a really abusive relationship, come free. And I'm thinking of one particular client that has been with me was with me for a couple of years, and then actually came back to study with me. And she had these collars on her throat, and she couldn't speak her truth. And so energetically, we're able to relieve those collars from a relationship that was very damaging for her and for her son. And now they're able to co-parent in a way that she never expected.
It's great to hear how rewarding that must be for you as well, seeing the growth of your clients, because it's really traumatizing for people going through narcissistic abuse. It causes stress, anxiety, PTSD is another symptom it causes. And also, you mentioned they feed off your love, but they also do feed off your pain as well. And I think they feed off that more. So they will push you and push you so that you're not yourself anymore. You're hurting, you're shattered, and that fills them up. That makes them feel powerful and good. So the work you are doing, Gwen, is so important to support people to really evolve beyond narcissistic abuse. We're just going to a commercial break, Gwen, so stay where you are. Join us after the commercial break. We are joined here with Gwen Lepard. She has shared her personal story of going through abuse, but that led her on a path to be a guide and a mentor to support others to evolve beyond narcissistic abuse. Join us after the commercial break. Welcome back to Brilliance Business TV. We're here with the incredible Gwen Lepard. Before the commercial break, Gwen shared her personal story of going through abuse and trauma. That led her on a path now to support others to evolve beyond narcissistic abuse. Gwen, welcome back to Brilliance Business TV.
Thank you so much, Mark. It's really fun being here.
It's my pleasure. Now, Gwen, there is a dynamic between empaths and narcissists. Why is it so important now to talk about the dynamic of empaths and narcissists?
Thank you so much for that question, Mark. It's a really important one. We talked about it a little bit, about how the narcissist feeds off of the empath. So the empath is constantly trying to give love, and the narcissist tears down the empath in order to be fed. And currently, where we're at as a planet is that we are all evolving into a place where there is a higher vibration. And so an empath that is disempowered is going to feed narcissists and seek them out, thinking that that is the kind of relationship that they want because it's what they're used to. And there's currently a balance of empaths and narcissists on the planet, that there's basically 1 in 5, so 20%, whether it's an empath or a narcissist. So this dynamic is, we need to shift it to having more empaths that are empowered as we raise the vibration, and they will start helping heal the planet. Because as an empath, you're feeling what other people feel. You can take on the illnesses, the symptoms of illnesses that other people have, and you need to recharge in nature and alone time. And so if you find yourself being overwhelmed with the world, because there's so much going on, and like you said, we're just out of this pandemic, and we have examples of narcissism in leadership, and making that okay, that it's okay to belittle people and to tear them down. And empaths build people up. And this planet needs more empaths that are empowered to build up those that are struggling, especially with self-esteem. Self-esteem is a huge thing that narcissists use to attack. They attack the self-esteem of an empath. And most empaths, that if they haven't been empowered, if they haven't stepped into their gifts, they're constantly feeling stuff that other people are saying, oh, you're imagining it. And they're not. And they need to know that they're not. And detangling that dance of abuse and narcissism and empaths that are disempowered. Part of what's the little gift in the narcissist is that the narcissist can open the empath to their powers. And that is part of what happened for me, is I didn't know that I was an empath. And by that abuse and the path back, I discovered that I am an empath. And so serving other empaths to have all of their gifts being used for good instead of for their to tear them down and make them feel overwhelmed with everything that they feel, whether they're feeling it in their gut or in their heart or in their mind or wherever they're feeling in their joints, that they're around somebody that's sick and they feel sick and drained all the time. One other little piece, oftentimes when you have a narcissist and an empath together, when you see them in the beginning of the relationship, it's like they both are brilliant and they look amazing. And then as time goes on, the person that is the narcissist gets more brilliant and the empath gets smaller and smaller and loses their identity.
Very, very true. And then they have to go through a long healing period to regain the self-confidence and the self-worth that they have lost.
Which is one of the reasons why I do what I do. So the healing period isn't as long. I mean, I was under a fog for 1.5 years, and you don't have to. There are tools. We can help.
It can take a long time if you don't have the right support. And as we mentioned, abuse and narcissistic abuse has grown through the global pandemic because of people being locked down with their abusive partners, loved ones, family members. So it is a really important topic that we're talking about today. And also as well, you mentioned about narcissism in business, and unfortunately narcissists seem to thrive in business because they will walk over anyone, they will manipulate people to get to the top, and they're very focused, so they do get really high. So unfortunately we have narcissists in really high powered jobs, in politics as well. Some presidents may be narcissistic as well. And it's really, really scary, to be honest with you, Gwen, because the amount of damage that they can cause. But empaths need to step into their power, because when you find your power and your self-worth, narcissists can't get you, because you see the red flags before they can get to you. And you repel narcissists when you know who you are and you've got strength and you've got self-worth. So it's a really, really important topic. We have Rani Massey saying, yes, self-esteem is extremely important to go on in life. I agree, Rani, and thank you for sharing your comment. We have Keith Leon. Hey, Keith, great to see you here. Keith is the man behind navigating the Clickety-Clack book series, which we'll be talking about shortly. And Keith also connected me with the amazing Gwen. So thank you for that, Keith. Keith is saying Gwen Lepard is such a beautiful, powerful teacher, difference maker and spirit. I agree, and as are you, Keith.
Thank you, Keith.
So Gwen, my next question we've touched on the signs of narcissism and how it's crazy in the world and some things to look out for. Could you just share some tips, strategies, or words of support for people out there that may be suffering with narcissistic abuse, any domestic violence, any kind of abusive relationships? Can you share some words of wisdom that could really help them to move into the light?
No, and as you're saying that, Mark, I'm thinking of those that are actually still in it, and sometimes as they start pulling away and stop feeding the narcissist, the narcissist will up their game, and so that it brings a lot of concern for those that are still in a relationship with someone who is a narcissist, and they've had you under their thumb for a long time. So be careful if you're still there and you're not in a place to get out. If you can get out, and there is definitely abuse there, there's support for you in a lot of different ways. As Mark's done a lot of study on this as well. So wherever you're located, there are people that can help you. And I would start, once you're out, is don't ask the question why it happened. This is something that I see so much as an empath that's been under the thumb of a narcissist. You've been in the victim mode, and it is it's one of the ways that we're programmed as kids. And if you're in that mode, asking the question, why did this happen, as you're beginning to heal and move forward, will only keep drawing you back. You don't need to know why to heal. And I know that can be challenging. It's like, but why did it happen? What if you could heal without knowing why? And maybe it was just a soul agreement that you had with this person, and just move forward. So don't ask why, just get help. And as an empath, you need to recharge in nature and with alone time. So find time, even if it's in the bathtub. It's like, I have 30 minutes here, and don't mess with me. Lock the door, have your bath, and have some alone time. And if you can get out in nature, yay. If you can't, I've been doing videos that will be up shortly of little walks in nature to help you relax and be with nature virtually if you can't get in nature right away. Yeah, those are two tips. One more. Put your hand on your belly and say, I am me. Because all the things that are coming through your solar plexus are not you. You're you inside of you. So bring yourself back inside of you and say, I am me. So that's something that you can do right now if you're really stressed. And that's something that you can do to start protecting yourself from everything that's coming in, whether it's from the narcissist, whether it's from the world. Protecting your solar plexus, just and people won't really think anything weird if you have your hand on your belly. You can do the hands crossed. You might think that you're cold, or well, the hands crossed, they might think you're mad. So like just hands on your belly. Take a breath. Take another breath. I have a lot of meditations that I use to support people, and just bringing you back to being inside your own energy field. It's so important, Mark. We, as empaths, we feel everything out here, but when you can bring yourself back to being inside of the body that you've chosen to be in, that can give you a lot of relief.
Thank you for sharing that, because there's another term I'm going to use, trauma bonding. So if you can imagine, when someone gets kidnapped, the person who is kidnapped, they kind of get feelings for the person that has kidnapped them. They bond to the person that has kidnapped them. This also happens in narcissistic relationships. So that is why people find it so hard to get out, because you have a trauma bond with the narcissist. Even if they're treating you abusively, even if they're beating you up or verbally abusing you, you will still feel like you really love this person, because your self-worth is at an all-time low. So the work that you are doing, Gwen, is so important to support people. Now, let me just read this comment. Hi, Miriam. Narcissists also come in different flavors. Some are arrogant, some self-centered, and others are needy and play the victim to get attention and energy from others. Thank you, Mark and Gwen. Thank you, Miriam. And yes, there are all different types. Gwen,
Great. Thank you, Miriam, for bringing that forward, because that often can be a narcissistic parent. That we see that in narcissistic mothers, that they are very needy and draw from their empaths and their children. Yeah, and they're constantly having drama, so that they get fed and you get drawn off of.
Now, Gwen, you help people to get over trauma bonding a lot quicker, because it can take a year, 2 years for some people, especially if they're going through PTSD and their self-esteem's really struggling. You developed a certified method, the Leopard method. Tell us a little bit about this.
It's a combination of over 35 years of different kinds of training, NLP, hypnotherapy, energy healing, quantum jumping, and being able to be in touch with all of your clairs. So clairvoyance, clairaudience, clairsentience, as well as a few others. Being able to access all of the resources that you have available to you. Some people have, we'll go a little woo here, have ascended masters and archangels assisting them. And so bringing in all the different kinds of resources that we have as our planet is evolving and expanding into a higher vibration. And so combining all of those together, I created a 12-month program where each month we do a module that is a modality, and then a business modality, because so many people are trained. It's like, here are all these great tools, go out and change the world. How do you do that? You have to have a business. And so right from the get-go, the first month, we do a modality, we do business, and then we do a mastermind where they get questions answered and clearings, and really allow the students to be part of creating their own method within the Leopard method. When I created it, I'm going to say something bold here. Everybody's always struggling with purpose. It's like, what's my purpose? What's my purpose? What's my purpose? So when I discovered what my purpose was, I realized that I know the purpose of every single person on the planet. And that is to be you. And then you have all of the programming, the beliefs, the DNA, you have all these things, the masks that you wear with people, all of this stuff that keeps you from being you. So that's part of the program, is discovering who you are and bringing your magic to the world. And you were talking about, well, containers. We have a container for the show. We have questions, and then within that container, we have flexibility. So the Leopard Method certification program is a container that allows you to bring your gifts to the full fore, as well as getting all of the tools that I've studied and brought in over the last 35 plus years. And I'm just really excited to being able to help more empaths have the tools to go out and create a business and help others get paid for doing what they do naturally, which is help people. Why not?
And the kinds of techniques and methods you are using, Gwen, it's helping people to tap back into their own intuition. Because unfortunately, when you get trapped in a narcissistic relationship, you probably had little subtle signs that you have ignored, those gut feelings that you have not listened to, and it's only later down the line that you realize you have not trusted your own gut, you have not listened to your own intuition. So what I like about the techniques and the strategies that you're using, you're helping people to tap back into their own instincts and their own intuition. Now, you are one of the co-authors of Navigating the Clickety-Clack Volume 2. Now, this has the incredible Dr. Joe Vitale, Adam Markle, Marie Diamond, Keith Leon is the brains behind it all. Just tell us a little bit about your chapter.
So my chapter is about having lots of success and not and needing help and reaching out for help. Like it's like strike while the iron's hot, and I had a little too much on my plate, and so I bring in some tools to help people with that. And like we did the being in your body, that's one of the most important things. Our body is, we're in a body for a reason on this planet, and there's so much to learn and so much wisdom within our bodies. So I have 3 tools in there that you can take advantage of and be able to be peace-filled in a seemingly toxic world.
I would encourage everyone to go out and get a copy of Navigating the Clickety-Clack Volume 2. It's available on Amazon, and there are quite a few co-authors of this book, so there will be definitely someone that you can take advice from, mentorship from, to support you to move forwards in business and in life. And it's got the incredible Dr. Joe Vitale, Marie Diamond, Adam Markle, Keith Leon, Gwen Lepard, and many more. So go out and get a copy of Navigating the Clickety-Clack Volume 2. And Keith Leon is just saying you have a powerful chapter, Gwen.
Thanks, Keith.
Now, Gwen, you do offer a free gift, which is an audio, and it's a relationship clearing audio. Tell our listeners and viewers a little bit about this, please.
Yes, it's a 3-step clearing that I walk you through, and it's a small bit of a larger body of work that I do. But I have had so many people say, oh my gosh, I wasn't able to sleep before this, and now I can sleep. And it will definitely allow you to have more relief from the relationships in your life. I had one person that went through, she said 200 people with the audio. and so she just kept going and clearing one after another. And she was like, when I first saw her, she's like, and then she was like, I can't believe how much freer I feel. And that's just one of the gifts that I have on my site. I also have another one that came out of people wanting a narcissist repellent. And for me, coming from the negative, it was like, I just couldn't do it. And then one day I got the message that it was going to be a raise your vibration spray. So it's a video and audio that you can charge water with. And there, I speak an ancient healing soul language in it, and it also has beautiful music, so and visuals. So you can use the audio, you can use the video or audio to charge your water and the water inside of you. So that's a raise your vibration spray. And I discovered that it actually works really well as a narcissist repellent.
Even better, I would encourage everyone to get your free relationship clearing audio gift at gwenlepard.com. We have another comment here from Keith Leon. Grab Gwen's free gift. Yes, Keith. And he has said, narcissist repellent, laughing out loud. Love it. Gwen, thank you so much for coming on to Brilliance Business TV. I have thoroughly enjoyed our conversation today. I love your energy, what you're doing in the world, and thank you for sharing your vulnerability as well. It's a really important message you are sharing, so thank you.
Oh, thank you so much for having me, Mark. This has been so fun. And I thank you for creating this platform and sharing so many brilliant people with the world.
The pleasure has been all mine, Gwen. Thank you, everyone, for watching Brilliance Business TV, conversations with leading experts in business. Today, we have heard Gwen Lepard's personal story of going through narcissistic abuse that led her on a path to support others to evolve beyond narcissistic abuse. She has shared tips, strategies. We have shared some of the techniques that narcissists use, some of the red flags to look out for, but most importantly, we have shared some tips and strategies to help you move forward into the light. Thank you, everyone, for watching. Until next time, bye for now.